All right, boys. It is real. It is fucking real. The post is out. It is time. Let's look at what Tencent has cooked for us. Q&A TOF Classic version. Okay, just posted apparently on the 24th. Dear Wanderers, we noticed that since the CN version launched the Reboot server last December, it has sparked a lot of discussion among global players. We know many of you are curious if the global server will get it too. Taking this opportunity, we'd like to take a moment to share some thoughts and plans about the classic version for global through the following Q&A. You'll get to understand why we decided to create a classic version for global and find answers to some of the questions you're asking. All right, let's go. Let's see this. Holy shit. Why a classic version instead of more optimizations to the standard version? First and foremost, we'd like to make our operational strategy explicitly clear. The launch of the classic version doesn't mean we will stop optimizing the standard version. It's simply introducing a new branch of optimization, and the two branches will progress simultaneously. Same wording as CN, sure. And different player groups have inherently diverse gaming preferences. In the past, we've observed that some players' needs could not be fully met in the standard version, leading to their departure. The classic version is designed for those players who have left or not yet tried our game. In the classic version, you will use weapons with smaller stat differences but more distinct features and collaboratively challenge more hardcore instance bosses. Through these designs, we aim to bring more fun to players who prefer hardcore MMO experiences. At least Tencent knows their fucking target audience and didn't be like CN and be like, oh shit, casual chat, casual game mode. Okay. So first of all, Tencent is not Pepega and knows what they're saying. They're saying hardcore instance bosses, okay? Not casual server. Okay, let's see. Any other changes? The classic version has simplified many contents and removed various gameplay elements. Is this at the cost of the game's original uniqueness? Does it reduce the joy of development for veteran wanderers? I feel like this is ChatGPT translated, but okay. The simplifications in the classic version are based on extensive feedback collected from players through multiple rounds and channels. They had pointed out certain content as being too grindy, overly complicated, or too frustrating. The classic version is not about relentless simplification, but setting goals that are more understandable and stable and long-term fun. Take the equipment system, for example. We removed the secondary elemental stats and reduced the randomness of affixes. The acquiring and upgrading equipment provides a more stable growth feedback, but it doesn't mean that the system becomes simple and boring. We plan on introducing different themed equipment each season, allowing you to freely create more unique builds. As the classic version is currently in its first season, you haven't seen all of its new content yet. Please be patient as we work to bring you more content in the near future. I mean, this is just like translated from the CN post. It's nothing new so far for global yet. Okay, continue. This feels like AI ChatGPT translation from CN. We've literally read this before. What is the relationship between the classic version and the standard version? The two versions run on two completely independent sets of servers. They share the same client, but with separate account progress. Their servers are not interconnected, which means that cross-server matching is not available and server transfer will not be possible in the future. So, same shit as the end still. What is the relationship between the events, rewards, and paid content of the classic version and standard version? To maintain fairness, the classic and standard version will share relatively similar events and rewards during regular operational cycles. That is, the content of events launched in the same period will be similar between the two versions, and the core rewards, vouchers, vehicles, outfits, as well as the acquisition threshold will remain basically consistent. In terms of purchases, the monthly passes, Tanium purchases, Gachapon, and other core asset sales in classic version will also mostly match this of the standard version. However, due to differences in wanderer progress and in the system structure between both versions, we can't ensure that events, rewards, and pricing will be absolutely identical, as the classic version will be pertained to exclusive, careful adjustments by us and kept fair as possible. Okay. As fair as possible. Additionally, as the classic version might still have some imperfections when it initially launches, we will distribute some free cosmetic items that were previously released in the standard version as a way to thank the pioneers who assisted us in starting this new journey. Free cosmetics. I mean, this is expected, same shit. Is this reboot for global? No, this is classic for global, okay? They have officially named it the classic version. With the launch of the classic version, I'm worried that the standard version will become less populated. Is the latter still worth playing? We won't open too many servers at once in the initial phase of the classic version in order to avoid excessive diversion from the standard version. In carrying out events and promotions, we will treat the two versions equally. Moreover, the standard version will continue to see more new and returning players, stimulate its community. Promotions. Yeah, sure. They're advertising the game still. If the classic version proves successful, we will see a decrease in the team's investment in developing the standard version. There will be no decrease. Okay. There will be no decrease. The main content of both versions, including region, simulacra, and major gameplay, is completely identical. We will prioritize the content quality of the standard version, from which the classic version will receive branch modifications. No decrease. And then 3.6.5 on CN is all rerun events. Nothing new. I wonder. Surely global will be different, right? Okay, let's see. Will changes in the classic version affect the standard version? Bug fixes and experience optimizations with a high degree of certainty for positive impact after careful evaluation will also be launched in the standard version. In this respect, the two versions are aligned. More system modifications will first be tried out in the classic version, and we will consider porting them to the standard version based on the results and your feedback. So they're going to be making changes to the classic version first, and if it's good, it comes to standard. Okay, decrease in team's investment. No decrease, but then the team is going to invest in testing it out on classic first, and then they're going to port it to standard. This is kind of contradictory, okay? Just saying. Okay, number 3. For modifications on weapon and development system, the strategy in the standard version remain unchanged. In the classic version, on the other hand, we'll make more frequent weapon balancing and development system adjustments, dynamically optimizing the game's ecosystem. This also helps us accumulate more experience in balancing adjustments. Therefore, before players enter the server, we require them to confirm and authorize their consent to the specific experience of the server before they can play. We also hope that this approach will maximize the protection of players' interest. So like when you log in to Reboot the first time, there will be a pop-up saying, we will balance the weapons. You have to agree to and consent, and then blah, blah, blah. Yeah, same thing. When will the classic version be launched globally? Taking into account the discussion sparked by the launch of CN version reboot server. CN version's reboot server. Wow. They're using my terminology. Holy fucking shit. CN version's reboot server. Is it me that posted this? I don't know, man. We realize there's much more to explore and accomplish in the global classic version. Therefore, we are committed to refining the global classic version to the best of our ability, and will strive to bring forth a relatively comprehensive classic version at an appropriate time. Prior to the official launch of the classic version, we will provide a more detailed introduction and explanation. We appreciate your understanding and patience as we work towards this goal. No set time and date. It's happening. Yes. When? We don't fucking know, okay? Is the classic version suitable for returning players, or will it be more friendly to newcomers? Tower of Fantasy is always waiting for you to return. You should choose whether to join the classic version based on your gameplay preferences and how much you progressed in the past. Though it's true that all wanderers start from the same point on a new server, whether one can stand out depends on their ability to adapt to the brand new experience. If you prefer harder challenges, more cooperative instances, and more efficient balanced adjustments, we suggest you try the classic version out. Will Titan equipment be retained in the classic version? The classic version will not feature Titan equipment system. Instead, equipment updates will be implemented on a seasonal basis. So seasonal games, sincerely, Tower Fantasy Team. This is literally everything we know for CN. Only thing different is Tencent has specifically stated that this is a hardcore MMO experience, okay? And then also, we don't know when exactly it's happening. So Reboot news is now called Classic news. TOF Classic is happening for global, and that's the only news we got, and we have no idea when it's happening, okay? But yeah, everything else is the same. They're basically, what this means is they're gonna copy pasta CN, and we're getting the same exact CN Reboot experience. Takeaways: it's called TOF Classic, not TOF Reboot for global. Same exact shit as CN. We don't know when it's happening yet, but it is happening. I'm predicting probably after EVA collab, or maybe with EVA collab. Who the fuck knows? Because like CN launched with Plotty, right? Plotty, Rubelia was the first two banners. The first banner, right? They ran together. And then Yanoa and Fesa. So if we also get this, they might just not launch Plotty and Yanoa, and we're gonna just straight up launch the collab characters? Maybe? If it happens with collab, then the classic version is gonna launch with the collab characters. If not, then like, I mean, kind of missed opportunity, right? To build classic version hype plus the fucking EVA collab hype at the same time. So I'm predicting during EVA collab. So after version 3.6, we might get this. So yeah, if you are a returning player and you prefer hardcore MMO experience with balance, this is it, I guess. If you're already playing TOF, fucking just ignore this. Or maybe create an alt like every other CN player that's doing right now. And I think that's it.